Modern Chicago is a titan of steel, concrete, and unbreakable glass. But reverse the algorithm to 1871, and a wooden nightmare emerges.
Welcome to Chicago, the fastest-growing, most brutal frontier city in America.
To survive a single day here, you had to embrace the dirt.
Your day begins in a cheap, balloon frame tenement house.
Built with balloon framing, cheap pine wood held together entirely by iron nails. You open the window. The air is thick with coal smoke and slaughterhouses.
You step outside. Even the sidewalks and roads are made of dry pine.
Below the wooden planks lay a treacherous, disease-filled swamp of street mud.
To escape the mud, engineers literally jacked entire blocks of buildings into the air.
Breakfast is raw, hard bread, and coffee. You need energy for the yards.
You join the army of immigrants, marching toward the brutal industrial center.
The Union Stockyards, a square mile of endless, deafening animal pens.
Chicago was the meatpacker for the world. The stench was absolutely paralyzing.
Trains brought millions of cattle straight from the Wild West to be slaughtered.
It flowed straight into the river, creating the infamous, highly toxic Bubbly Creek. The river was so full of decomposing fat, the surface literally caught fire.
This same river flowed directly into the lake, poisoning the city's drinking water.
But just blocks away, the robber barons lived in absolute, untouchable luxury. Hotels like the Palmer House were palaces of silk, crystal, and velvet. But the stone was an illusion. Even the grandest mansions had wooden skeletons. The city imported millions of tons of lumber. It was a massive tinderbox. The summer of 1871 brought a devastating, terrifying drought. A fierce southwest wind baked the entire wooden city into absolute tinder. October 8th. Night falls. The city relies entirely on open flames for light.
The fire department was already completely exhausted from a major blaze the night before.
In a small barn on DeKoven Street, the fatal algorithm begins.
History blames Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicking a lantern. The truth remains unknown.
But the spark was real. The dry pine barn ignited instantly.
The fierce wind grabbed the burning embers, throwing them across the wooden rooftops. The wooden sidewalks acted as a literal fuse, racing fire straight into downtown.
The courthouse bell rang frantically. But the exhausted fire engines were sent to the wrong part of the city.
The extreme heat generated its own weather. Massive, terrifying fire tornadoes touched down.
Over 300,000 people fled in absolute terror.
People desperately buried their valuables in the dirt, hoping the earth would protect them.
The Grand Palmer House burned to the ground just 13 days after opening.
The main pumping station burned. The city entirely lost its water supply.
Only a few solid stone structures, like the water tower, survived the apocalypse.
On the third day, a heavy rain finally fell, killing the monster.
A third of the city was completely erased. 100,000 people were homeless. Martial law was declared immediately to prevent mass looting in the ruins.
But the disaster was the ultimate catalyst. Rebuilding began before the ashes cooled. Wooden construction was banned in the center. The city demanded a fireproof skeleton. The brightest architectural minds flocked to the blank canvas of the destroyed city. Out of the rubble rose the Home Insurance Building, the world's first modern skyscraper. The invention of the safe passenger elevator allowed architects to build into the clouds. They even performed a miracle, physically reversing the flow of the polluted river.
Reversing the river saved Lake Michigan, finally giving the city safe drinking water.
By 1893, Chicago presented the White City, a utopian architectural masterpiece.
The fair was illuminated by AC electricity. The era of dangerous gas lamps was over. They built the world's first Ferris wheel, a colossal engineering flex against gravity.
The wooden nightmare was paved over, replaced by an unbreakable titan of engineering.
Today, the elevated L trains still rattle above the streets, a nod to the past. The skyline continued to push higher, birthing the colossal Willis Tower.
But beneath the shiny pavement, the ghosts of the wooden city remain.
A testament to the absolute, brutal resilience of human survival.
A city that learned to reflect on its darkest, most destructive moments.
From burning Chicago to the edges of time, which historical era should we reconstruct next?
If you want AI to uncover the brutal reality of daily history, hit subscribe.
Tell us below, should we live a day during the gold rush or the San Francisco earthquake?
History is rarely as pristine as the paintings suggest.
It is messy, painful, and incredibly hard.
But every single day was a battle.
A desperate fight for warmth, food, and basic survival.
In a world built entirely on a fragile foundation.
Until the light eventually returns.
Thanks for watching. Keep exploring the past.